Hi, everyone, and welcome to our first virtual buyers webinar for Roxborough Reserve. Hope everyone is staying home and staying well during this time. My name is Jennifer Ranella, and I'm one of the listing agents at Roxborough Reserve. Just to make sure you're all familiar with Zoom webinars, there's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screens. Feel free to send us questions as we go, and we'll try and answer as many as we can. Additionally, if you're having trouble viewing the presentation, you do have the ability to block the screen to move the screen around so the presenter is not blocking your view of the slide. And actually, this is really not too different for us. Although we do normally do this presentation in person, since there's no model yet at the site to walk through, all of our current sales have been through a similar process. The developer and builder of Roxborough Reserves is the Riverwards Group. The Riverwards Group was founded in 2009 by Mo Rushdie and Larry McKnight. They are award-winning developers that have transformed many up-and-coming areas into Philadelphia into beautiful, functional spaces for homebuyers. The Civil Group is with Berkshire Hathaway Fox & Roach Realtors, and we are the listing agents for Roxborough Reserve. We are the number 19 team in Berkshire Hathaway nationally, and have offices in Rittenhouse, Chestnut Hill, and Bryn Mawr. Also on this webinar today are two panelists, Christine Downey and Christy Jones, both realtors with the Civil Group. Christy Jones will be facilitating the webinar for us. Christy?
Hi, Jen.
Right here, what you're looking at is our site map. This shows you basically how the site lays out. We have two phases here that are delineated by the black lines. This is phase one, the first set of houses, and then phase two is the second set down here, which has not been released for sale yet. In the beginning right here, you see two single-family homes. These are the stone homes that you see on the renderings. As you come through, you've got our twins here. These twins are all sold out. They're on both sides of the street. As you come down the street, on the right side, these are all singles. These singles have walkout basements and back up to the conserved space. On the left side, you also have singles here, and these have garages at the main level. You come down to a cul-de-sac, and right here is a path into the conserved space. We have 9 single-family homes remaining at a base price of $519,990 and $539,990 with a garage.
Great, thank you, Jen. Now we'll start with our first poll of the day. All right, launch poll. So what is your favorite thing about the Roxborough Manayunk neighborhood? Is it parks and outdoors like Pretzel Park or Gorgas Park, or even taking a walk on the towpath? Is it arts and community like the Manayunk Roxborough Art Center, the Merge Dance Studio, or even the library? Local shopping at Pineapple on Main or the Little Apple? Restaurants like brunch at Winnie's or a cheesesteak at D'Alessandro's? Special events that Manayunk and Roxborough has every year, like Stroll the Streets, the Manayunk's Arts Festival, or Parks on Tap every summer. Or last, the location, how convenient of a commute it is to Center City, close to the regional rail and all major roads. So I'll give you a couple more seconds to cast your vote. Okay, gonna close the poll now. Okay, so it looks like our top 2 answers were parks and outdoors and location. Both makes a lot of sense. It's kind of nice to have close walking trails and lots of parks and also an easy commute. So now we're going to get into our Q&A section here. We'll start off with Jen. She's going to talk a little bit about suburban living in a city. Jen, where exactly is Roxborough Reserve located?
So Christy, right now you're looking at a map of the overall Roxborough Manayunk area. Roxborough Reserve is delineated by this green star right here. We're about halfway between Andorra Shopping Center and Ivy Ridge Shopping Center at 7354 Ridge Ave, across from the YMCA and within walking distance of a lot of the restaurants and shopping along Ridge Ave in Roxborough.
Great, and I know you talked a little bit about the conserved space behind the homes. Can someone build on that land?
Yeah, so right now what you're looking at is a overview of the site. This is Ridge Ave in the foreground here. This is where you enter the site here with the twins on either side. And right here is the conserved space you're talking about, Christy. It's in the upper right-hand corner of the slide we're looking at. This is a video that was taken probably late fall, so we're a lot further along now. But as you come down the drive, all the singles will back up to this space right here. And that path that I showed you on the site map is right about here on the left side. And no, right now, this is all conserved space that will never be built on. It was conserved by the developer when they put this property together. And even when the homeowners take over the HOA, they cannot even have the ability to decide to sell it off and have it built on.
Okay, good to know. So now we're going to go to Chris with some questions about construction. Chris, how long does a new construction home take?
Well, because of the COVID-19, the governor put a stop order on all construction. But delivery of a new home can take up to several months. Some of the things that you can do to push that along and move that faster would be making your home selections, your kitchen, your baths, and your fixtures, and that would make the delivery date a little faster for you.
That's the fun stuff. So the exterior rendering that we're looking at here, what are the materials used for the exterior?
The front of the homes are hardy plank, brick veneer. On the side is vinyl siding, and then also on the back is vinyl siding. Each home would have a yard. You have trees along the streets, 2-car garages, and then again, that great conserved space in the back.
Great. And Jen mentioned homeowners association. So what are the HOA fees and what does that cover?
The HOA fees cover landscaping of the common areas, snow removal, stormwater management, and then, oh my God, what else?
Is there a monthly fee?
Yes, there is a monthly fee of $212.
Okay, great. And then talk a little bit more about the mechanicals, so like HVAC and windows.
So the HVAC, there's a 200 amp electrical service. You have recessed lighting, Pella windows, and it's a high efficiency system with 2 zones.
Great. Now we're going to go to the interiors, talk a little bit about the floor plan at Roxborough Reserve. So Jen, can you tell us what the single floor plan looks like?
Yeah, so what you're looking at right now on the slide, Christy, this is one of our single family homes with no garage. And if we look from left to right, this is the basement space on the left side. Here you can opt to finish the space. You can opt to have a powder room and or full bath. And what you're looking at here is an egress window. Now the houses that I pointed out that have walkout basements along the conserved space, they would have a walkout, which is optioned here up top. If we go into the first floor, what you're seeing here is a living room, dining room as you come in off the front porch. You see a closet, and then you have access to the kitchen and powder room off the living room, dining room, and off the kitchen. Here you're seeing our 2-tier island, optional fireplace in the great room. A slider is standard on these, but what you're seeing here is you could opt to have a French door come off the back of these as well. On the second floor, you've got your large master bedroom with walk-in closet and full bath. You've got this really nice second floor hallway, which we're calling a loft area because it's oversized. And you could opt to have a wet bar off of it. Also, the second floor laundry comes off of this second floor hall or loft area. As you come down this hall a little bit here, you've got a shared full bath with a shower over tub and 2 large bedrooms also with walk-in closets. What you're seeing on the right here is your 3rd floor bonus space. You can opt to get a 3rd floor in these houses. And what this is showing you is that how that sits with the deck. And then this is how your stairs would sit up to that 3rd floor space. If you look here, we just switched the slide and yeah, you've got a single family home with garage. And we just wanted to point out how that might change things a little bit. So how it changes things is your basement just becomes a little bit smaller, but you gain this great garage space right here. You've got interior access up past the pantry and coat closet into the kitchen and then great room, which is awesome if you're carrying groceries and things to have that kind of access. And then your 2nd and 3rd floors do not change.
Great. And Talk about, I know you mentioned the kitchen. Can you walk us through what the interior renderings look like for that?
Yep, so that's what you're seeing right here. You're seeing our two-tier island. To have this island a different color than the cabinets is an upgrade. So we are showing some upgrades here. So you're seeing a blue island, although very, very pretty. These are our cabinets. These are standard cabinets. This is an upgraded stove vent right here. Here's that hallway access in that back corner that gets you over to the garage and or living dining room, depending on what you option. And then what you're seeing here, which is really nice, and I think pretty much shows that Roxborough Reserve, we have a lot of nice upgraded standard features. You're seeing hardwood floors in here. And a lot of sites at this type of price point, you're not going to get hardwood floors as standard. Here you have them standard on the first floor, standard on the second floor hall, and in the master bedroom, which is really nice.
Okay, so now the fun part. When do I get to select all my finishes?
So when you get to agreement of sale and you execute an agreement of sale, then the Riverwards Group will contact you and the design center will set up an appointment with you in Fishtown. In Fishtown, we have a huge design center, which we're showing you in this slide here. These are some of our very early on home buyers. They bought a twin. This is Caitlin and John. And here they are selecting hardwoods, selecting faucets, and going over with Kathy, who's one of our design center associates on the right-hand side, where they show you your floor plan and you go through each room and bathroom. The other nice thing that Roxborough Reserve has standard, which I think really sets us apart as well, besides the hardwood flooring and some of our other standards, is the fact that you do not have to have one vanity chosen for all the bathrooms. You can pick standard different color vanities in each bathroom, which is a really nice upgrade in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a really nice touch. Not a lot of, not offered all the time in new construction. So I know you're in that third story space. What are some of the other structural upgrades a buyer can make? And then can you explain the difference between a structural upgrade and just an option upgrade?
Yeah, so right now you're looking at the third floor space. This third floor is, as we said, an option. It is one that a lot of people choose because this is a structural option. This has to be done at construction time. This is not something somebody can change after they've built the house. So a lot of our buyers have, pretty much all of our single family home buyers have chosen to get the third floor at purchase. Right here, we're depicting the third floor. This is with a hardwood floor, which is an upgrade. This is the Trex deck. Standard is the fiberglass roofing that you see in a lot of city homes. And here you're seeing an optional wet bar. Now, if we go back to our kitchen drawing here, this is a really good example of how you pick out your cosmetic options, not structural. So structural happens at time of purchase. Cosmetic happens once you're under contract and you're meeting with the design team. And such things as cosmetic here be what color do you want your cabinets? You can see this is a really great backsplash. This is one of our standard backsplashes. These are the things you would pick out with our design center. Also, these light fixtures over the island. Those are some of the pendants that you can choose from to pick out at the design center.
Okay, that'll lead us to our last poll here. All right, launching now. So we want to know, what is the most important feature for you in a new home? Is it the multiple outdoor spaces, which Jen showed you can get by adding that third story? Larger bedrooms, hardwood flooring throughout, which Roxborough Reserve adds many upgrades, including width, color. Kitchen island, we saw that two-tiered island with the cool blue color. Or last, a finished basement, that extra space for maybe an office, gym, which I know right now is really important to some people, or just an extra space for storage. I'll give you a couple more seconds. All right, I'm gonna end the poll now. It looks like we have a tie between multiple outdoor spaces and a kitchen island. I know a kitchen island's pretty important right now. And it's nice having that extra outdoor space, especially in the city. So now we're gonna move on to how do I own a lot at Roxborough Reserve. So Chris, can you tell us how we reserve a lot here?
Sure. What you would need to do is you would need to provide us with a check for $5,000, which will be held for 2 weeks. We will not deposit it. In that 2 weeks, that would allow you to figure out your structural changes if you want to do that. Read over the HOA docs and continue to ask us any questions that you may have regarding the lots.
Great. And I'm looking at the site map here. I see that there's lot premiums. Can you tell us what that means?
Sure. The lot premium is an additional fee that you pay over top of the base price. And they are premium lots because, as you can see, they do back up to the green space, or they're just a larger lot than the other standards.
Great. And what is the down payment and money due up front in order to purchase at Roxborough Reserve?
Okay, the down payment is 5% of your sales price plus 50% of any structural changes. And as Jen has mentioned, structural changes would be that third floor bonus room, a finished basement, maybe a powder room or a full bath in your basement. Things that you need to decide at agreement.
Great. So that pretty much wraps it up for what we have, but we're going to take a few minutes here and answer all of your questions in the Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and add those now. We have a couple already lined up here. So let me go to the first one. What are some upgrades that most buyers are opting in on? Good question. Jen?
So Christine, we talked about this a little bit, but most buyers are most single home buyers are upgrading to the third floor space. And then from there, the finished basement, I would say, is the next biggest upgrade. If they're not choosing to finish the basement, they are at least choosing to put in rough-in plumbing in the basement. And what that does is it allows somebody to put in a bathroom in the future, since those plumbing features go in pretty much what's called sub-slab or below the concrete when it's poured.
Okay, great. And our next question here, can I add a shed to my backyard? Good question.
So when you go to settlement, you get what's called a use and occupancy certificate from the city. That piece of property is yours, and it's treated by the city like any other single family home in the city. So the rules governing that lot, besides the HOA of color and things like that that might be stipulated, really is if the city allows a shed to be on the property, then you can have a shed on the property.
Okay, great. We have someone asking here to explain the deposit process again.
So what happens is you pick out your lot, and a lot of these lots you can see have some lot premiums. Some are more desirable than others, and really anything that we have left, there is not so much that one lot is the same as any other. I mean, there's the three on the left that I pointed out that are very similar. We don't have many lots left that are the same. So you want to grab your lot that speaks to you very quickly. You have the ability to do that by putting down a $5,000 deposit, like Chris says, and that gets held in our office in a folder. We do not cash that check. And what you do is when you put down that $5,000, you have the ability to then do some due diligence, go over pricing with us, pick some of your structural options, like Chris said. And then at that time, when we go to agreement, the agreement will have in there the 5% and the 50% of those structural options that you chose.
Great. Next question here. Someone's asking, what is the space going to be in front of the 2 stone homes that are being built in phase 2?
So that's a great question. Let's go back to that site map. On the site map here, you can see as you come in off a ridge, there's a very colorful tree here and what looks like some benches. So unfortunately, what happened here in 2005 is a little girl was hit by a car. And this tree has always been a memorial spot for her mother and for the family. And so what Riverwards Group decided to do is to take that up a notch for Roxborough. And so basically they've created a whole memorial park here with seating and more plantings. And this is all right at the beginning as you pull into the site.
Great. Next question we have, how much extra square footage is a finished basement?
720 square feet is finished with no garage.
Another question here, what is the ceiling height?
The ceiling height is 9 feet on the first and second floor, 8.4 in the basement, and 8 in the third floor.
Okay, and another question. Oh, good question. Is there a 10-year tax abatement?
There is a 10-year tax abatement. I know there's been a lot of talk about the tax abatement and removing in Philadelphia, but the River Wards Group had applied and got accepted for their tax abatement very early on, and so the properties do come with a 10-year tax.
Great. What is the cost of, to add that, the third floor, what's the average cost for that?
So the third floor is $27,500 with carpet and $30,000 with hardwood.
I think we have one more here. Is there parking if we do not purchase a garage?
Christy, you dropped out a little bit. Can you repeat that question?
Sure. Is there off-street parking if a buyer opts to not purchase a garage?
Yeah, so Chris hit on this a little bit. This is what's made Roxborough so popular with a lot of city buyers, is you have 2-car parking in front of your house, driveway parking. So you do not have to opt for a garage. And most of the buyers we're finding that are coming from the city are so excited to have off-street parking that a garage isn't as important to them. They want more living space.
Okay, I think that's the last question we have. Jen, do you want to wrap it up for us?
Yeah, so right here, you can see down below, this is our website, roxboroughreserve.com. We have a lot of information on there. Our floor plans are on there. The site map is on there. Also, if you register on roxboroughreserve.com, we have the ability to then email you, and you will constantly be updated as to the goings-ons at Roxborough Reserve. Additionally, we have an Instagram and Facebook page that are both very, very active. Instagram is Roxborough Reserve, and so is Facebook. I will say, Christy, that because we only have 9 left, and we do not have any similar lots left, that if anybody is thinking about possibly purchasing and wants to explore it further, putting the $5,000 deposit down and holding one of those lots while they go through their due diligence is really a smart thing to do, and in the end doesn't really cost you anything to do.
Great. Well, I think that wraps it up. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.